Hi, and welcome to Mrs. Pam Reads. Today we are continuing in our story Zoo by James Patterson and Michael Ledwidge. We are in book 3, chapter 37. And in the last video, Oz and Chloe had presented the video of the male lions devouring Abraham, and to a group of the scientific community, and they were all astounded. So there was discussion around that and reasoning, etc. And I believe that's where we kind of headed off. I think he's getting ready to go talk to a senator, but we'll see if that's in the next chapter. All right, so Zoo, chapter 37. Red and blue lights flash against the walls of the dark apartment as a howling fire truck roars down Broadway far below. The siren dissipates, soon replaced by the grating music box tinkle of an ice cream truck. Sitting on the edge of the sink in the stifling yellow bathroom, Attila glances at the window idly for a moment, as if trying to remember something. Then he shifts his weight forward and goes back to studying himself in the mirror. He's been looking in the mirror for hours. With meticulous fascination, he gazes at his deep-set, burnished, golden brown eyes rimmed in black, the wide pink saucers of his ears poking out from beneath the red woolen cap. Periodically, he opens his wide, protrusive mouth and thumbs at his long canine teeth. He looks down at his arms, examines the coarse brown hair. Sorry, I skipped a page. The thick, leathery skin of his hands, his black fingernails, his long, knotty knuckled fingers, and stubby thumbs. He closes his eyes and sucks in a deep, meditative breath through his nose. Attila tilts forward until his fingertips and his forehead press against the cool, sleek glass of the mirror, his mind trying to right itself, trying to quit roving crazily over the swirling, sickening landscape of strange sounds and strange smells. There's the scent of crackling grease from the chicken place across 125th Street, the damp, chalky smell of sheetrock from the church renovation around the corner, the rancid stink of a water treatment plant, the oily, garbagey, fishy smell of the Hudson River. If there were an EEG monitoring his brave waves, it would be showing a spike of activity in the amygdala, the part of the primate brain responsible for smell, memory, and learning. Then the bad smell, in capital letters, comes again. It comes from the buildings and rooms and pipes, from the streets and alleys and sewers, from the cars and buses, from everywhere, all at once. The bad smell is people. And as he stands here in the epicenter of one of the most densely populated places on earth, this frightening, stifling, choking stench closes in on him like a noose, like a bag over his head. He is shaking. His hands are trembling. The wind shifts and he smells the psychiatric center a block north. He hears screaming and smells horror, unbearable pain. All this terrible foulness collects in his mind like smoke in an air filter. Attila plugs his nostrils with his fingers. He stops shaking and opens his glassy brown eyes. He shudders. A cracked coffee mug with 2 toothbrushes in it rests on the soap dish. Attila picks it up, shakes out the toothbrushes, and flops the mug back and forth in his hands, wondering what to do with it. He looks again at his reflection in the mirror, wearing the red hat. He rocks back and flings the cup hard at the mirror, smashing it to smithereens and splintering the mirror into a fractured starburst. It feels good. It scratches an itch inside of him. Then the itch comes back. Huffing, panting, yowling, he leaps from the sink into the hallway, hurling and smashing everything he can reach. Goes into the room with the computers and smashes them all. He rips them from the wall, yanking out their electrical cords and tossing them into each other. Sparks crackle and fizz, bits of machinery fly about the room like handfuls of flung sand. Soon he hears a noise, a repeated thump on the wall near the door. "Shut the F up in there," comes the muffled voice of a person. Next door neighbor. "You stop that shit right now or I'm calling the cops." Attila screams back as he rushes over to the wall and begins pounding on it as hard as he can. Plaster particulates rise up in the air like white smoke as the mirror on the wall jumps once, twice, then breaks free of its moorings and crashes to the floor near his feet. Glass shatters across the hallway. When he sniffs again, he catches a new scent emanating from the adjacent apartment. Attila hoots and shrieks as he scampers through the ruined room. There is one human smell he enjoys, and he can smell it now. The scent of human fear. Ooh, like that. Chapter 38. The HAC meeting was still in full swing that afternoon when an email popped up on my iPhone from Alina Wernert, Senator Garner's senior staffer. The senator couldn't meet with me today, she informed me, and my heart sank like a stone before I read the bit that followed. If I was interested, she could squeeze me in for 5 minutes at a conservation hearing that the Senate Committee on Environment and Public Works was holding tomorrow at 10. I thought, a congressional hearing, booyah! That was better than a meeting with the senator. I couldn't have rubbed on a bottle and asked a genie for a better way to get the word out. So, was I interested? Absolutely interested, I wrote back, tapping letters on the phone's glowing screen under the table. As the meeting wore on toward evening, something strange happened. More people kept arriving. Prominent geneticists, biologists, people whose names I'd known for years, but whom I'd never met. I did a double take when Jonathan Ely walked in, a popular astronomer who hosted a new agency PBS series on the origins of the universe. They all wanted to see the lion attack footage, which by then had been set up to run continuously in a cordoned off section of the meeting room. The Botswana zoological anomaly, as many were starting to call it, was attracting scientists like moths to a flame. This whole thing was on a new level now, I realized. The buzz on this was intense. Also, in a strange way, I'd won a kind of respect that I'd never really had before. As the meeting gradually segued from the ballroom to the hotel bar, well-known scientists from top-shelf institutions, Harvard, MIT, Johns Hopkins, who normally wouldn't have given me the time of day, shuffled over to shake my hand and offer to buy me a beer. As the attaboys accumulated, I took 5 from worrying about the end of the world to allow myself a golden moment of self-congratulation. Even after people had called me crazy, I stuck to my guns with HAC, and now I felt vindicated. Well, aren't you quite the celebrity? Chloe said, picking at the shoulder of my sport coat after I'd said goodbye to a frosty-haired Princeton microbiologist. My hand was pink and hot from handshakes. Yup, I said. Ladies and gentlemen, Jackson Oz, rock and roll biologists. No autographs and easy on the flash photography. After the meeting broke up in the early evening, Chloe and I went upstairs to her hotel suite to prepare for the Senate hearing. Sharing a pot of coffee, we cranked out a 5-minute statement to the committee that emphasized the dire nature of the problem. I gave several specific policy suggestions, such as broadcasting warnings to every local Department of Animal Care and Control to be on the alert for increased aggression. But the most important request was for funding to research the problem. We needed to get the best people we could as fast as possible. After rereading it, Chloe collapsed in a chair and nodded her head. This is good, Oz. With the tape, it should cause quite a stir. We've already grabbed the attention of scientists. Now we're going to tell the world. We called room service and had the coffee exchanged for a late dinner. Skate wing with cape. Skate wing? I don't know what skate wing is. Skate wing with capers and cauliflower farro, a bottle of Vernet, Vervray? I don't drink. Chloe's suggestion. It was delicious. Okay. She was oddly quiet as we ate. She swirled her wine, oh, it's wine, and gazed distractedly through the window. Outside, in the bluish, luminous dark, the Frederick Douglass Bridge lit up like a birthday cake, spanned the Anacostia River. When Chloe finally looked at me, her brown eyes were glistening with moisture. Back in Africa, she began, her voice quiet. When night fell, I had resigned myself to my death. I started praying to my grandfather, saying that if I had to die, that maybe he could help me somehow, that it would be quick. The next day, I was about to give up hope. Then I looked up, and you were there. And now we're here, I said, raising my glass. Exactly, she said. I never believed in fate before, but now I don't know. One moment I'm about to die in Africa, and the next I'm in America and in the middle of a storm, something that might be one of the biggest events in history. This doesn't often happen to a girl from Auvergne. It doesn't seem real. It is real, I said. You want me to pinch you to prove it? That's when she leaned across the tiny table and touched my face. No, she said, I want you to kiss me. I leaned toward her from across the table and we kissed for the first time. It was soft and right. Then the image of Natalie floated across my eyelids, and though it was the last thing on earth I wanted to do, I broke it off. No, Chloe said, surprised. I thought I should have told you. I'm sort of, you're married. God, no. Petite Amy? Uno amante? Obviously, I don't speak anything but English. No. I mean, it's hard to say. I think I just broke up with someone, I said, avoiding her eyes. Chloe harumphed. You think? Yeah. Chloe lifted her glass, took a sip of wine. Well, I appreciate your honesty, Mr. Truth and Justice, she said. I guess I should go back to my room, I said. I wadded my napkin on my plate and stood. We have a big day tomorrow. Are you completely crazy? You are here now, she said. Then she sipped more wine and added, besides, I've already seen your underwear. I gave her a look. No, I'm serious, Oz. I don't want to be alone tonight. Please stay. I'll sleep on the chair. She rolled her eyes. Sleep in the bed with me, she said over the rim of her glass. Don't worry, just sleep. It turned out she wasn't kidding about the just sleeping part. She was sawing logs by the time I came out from my shower. I watched her in the dim light from the window, her dark eyelashes, her pale face, her thin, delicate arms. Lying there, she looked lovely, so girlish, so bird-like. I was already kicking myself. What were you thinking? Natalie broke up with you. It's done. You're a free agent now. Go for it. Chloe had come all this way for me, I realized. She trusted me and believed in me, which Natalie never really did. After I tucked her under the covers, I lay beside her and looked at the ceiling. Good night, you dumbass, I told myself, and shut my eyes. And we're going to stop there. So we didn't make it to the senator in this chapter, but I think we might make it to the Senate hearing in the next video. We'll have to see. All right, you guys. Thank you for joining me. Oh, let me get my feet down. Woo. I hope you have a wonderful day. Oh, hey, and remember, if you haven't subscribed to the channel, go ahead and do that, because if you click the bell tab, then you'll get a notification every time a new video posts. It's about every 3 days. About. Okay. I hope you have a wonderful day, and I will see you. Wait a minute, I got to click the right button. I will see you next time. Bye.